Hey guys, in this video I'm checking out a brand new, I don't think this is even released yet, lens from Seven Artisans. Now if you guys don't know of Seven Artisans, it's a company that produces some pretty high quality lenses. Some of my favorite manual lenses, including the 55mm f1.4. Now this one is very interesting because this is an f0.95 lens, so super duper fast. It comes in just a generic box, and then in the box is this nice leather case, and I am super excited to check this thing out. This was sent to me by Seven Artisans, so thank you, Seven Artisans. They did not sponsor this video, so all of these opinions are my own. Let's get started by taking a closer look at this lens. The leather case that this lens comes in is very nice. I don't think it is real leather, but it feels nice and premium. It has a zipper on the top and a ton of nice padding inside. Along with the lens, you get a metal front lens cap that is simply tension fit, and around the back, a simple plastic lens cap. The construction is all metal and glass as far as I can tell. It feels nice and heavy in the hand. In fact, this lens comes in at 370 grams, which for the size is a significant weight. Taking a look at the very back of the lens, it is a metal mount as you would expect. What's different about this, it is in this really nice looking dark gunmetal gray polished finish. Now moving forward from there, you get some nice engraved markings. So this is for helping you nail focus. You get an ultra buttery smooth focus ring. It's about a 90-degree or so rotation, and the barrel of this lens does extend as you move it back and forth. The resistance and dampening on this focus ring is just about perfect. Moving forward from that, we have an aperture ring at the very front of the lens. This aperture ring is declicked, so no distinct clicks, which is great for video, not so great for photography. It is also buttery smooth. I would say it's a little bit too smooth in my opinion. I wish that there was a little bit more resistance because it is very easy to accidentally hit that aperture ring and mess up your settings while you are out shooting. Looking at the very front of the lens, you get a pretty decently sized front lens element. I was expecting this to be much larger considering this is an f0.95 lens. You have some information around the front, 35mm 0.95, 52mm filter thread, a serial number, a marking that says sample, and Seven Artisans. This lens features 11 elements in 8 groups, a 12-bladed rounded aperture, which is really nice looking, a 0.37 of a meter minimum focus distance, and it is designed for APS-C mirrorless censored cameras. Taking a look at this lens mounted on a camera such as my A6100, everything looks really nice. I like the theme of white and red. It is a simple looking lens and very compact. I'd say this is about the size of the Sony 35mm f1.8. Now you can almost get away with using this lens on a full frame Sony mirrorless camera. In fact, here is the result if you do put it on a full frame. A little bit of vignetting in the corners, but I was expecting a whole lot worse. Now let's see what this lens is capable of doing. Here are some sample photos, maybe a couple of videos. A6100 using this lens. No post-processing, no editing, just straight JPEGs out of the camera. Ready, set, go. That is it for the sample photos and videos. This lens performs amazingly well, and I was expecting it to be a pain to use out in the field because, again, this is f/0.95, which means you get a super shallow depth of field. That's the whole idea behind this lens. Using the very smooth focus ring, I found it was relatively easy to nail focus in most situations. And I think that has to do with the fact that this is a 35mm focal length. If this was a 50 or 55mm lens, I would struggle quite a bit more with nailing focus. Now, once you do nail focus in the center of the frame, wide open at f/0.95, the image is surprisingly okay. It's not remarkably sharp, but it is much better than I expected. Just to demonstrate how sharp this lens is, I decided to do a quick comparison between this thing and the trusty Sigma 30mm f1.4, which I'm using to record this video. Here are the side-by-side results. So wide open at f/0.95 versus f1.4, you'll see that the Sigma is noticeably sharper. As I stop down this lens to f1.4 and shoot the Sigma wide open, you'll see that they are remarkably close. I'd say the Sigma is still a little bit sharper, but you're getting 90 to 95% of the sharpness. Now, stopping both lenses down to f4, you'll see a very dramatic improvement in image quality in the center. Both lenses performing about the same, and even in the corners, remarkably, this 7 Artisans lens is nice and sharp, which is something that is not typical with these sort of really fast f/0.95 lenses from what I read. Normally, these type of lenses have terrible chromatic aberration, which in this case, the 7 Artisans does have some, but it is by no means horrible, and I'd say it's along the lines of standard chromatic aberration that you see with lenses that are f1.8 or so. One thing that I certainly did notice was focus breathing. So if you are planning on using this lens for video work, it might be a problem. There's quite a bit of focus breathing as you rack focus from one end to the other. Taking a look at bokeh, it is nice and creamy with this lens. It blurs everything out of the background, and it does give you a very unique look. The bokeh balls are nice and circular, even in the corners. There's no onion ring effect, and it's not busy. That's the most important thing. The bokeh is nice and creamy. It's not as creamy as what you get from, let's say, the Sigma 56 f1.4, but it is not bad whatsoever. So this is a very impressive lens. I've certainly enjoyed using it over the last couple of weeks, and it is definitely a lens that I can easily recommend if you are looking for a low light performer. I guess that is the key takeaway. This thing in low light is amazing. 0.95 is over a stop of extra light when you compare that to f1.4. When I was using this lens, it was like having night vision. What my eye was seeing was darker than what I was seeing through the viewfinder and through the screen on the back of the camera. And when you consider all of this in a compact package, very well built, at a pretty reasonable price, I'd say that 7 Artisans has a winner on their hands. And again, I would certainly recommend it. As far as pricing, right now, this thing on Amazon is $250, which is amazing when you consider, again, it's 0.95. These lenses, when you compare it to like the Midicon 35mm, that was like a $600 lens that I've never reviewed. For $250, you are getting a performer. As usual, I'll post links down below so that you guys can check out pricing and availability and buy this lens if you choose to do so. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of these samples and what you guys think of 0.95 lenses. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all of your likes, all of your comments, and your support. Stay tuned for more, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.